On a cold December morning in 2025, the U.S. Commerce Department quietly granted export licenses for a modified Nvidia H200 AI chip to select civilian customers in China. The move, meant to balance trade and security, instead sparked outrage in Washington. Critics warned it could fuel China's military modernization, the very thing the U.S. has tried to prevent. This wasn't just a trade dispute. It was about the building blocks of future power. AI chips, like Nvidia's H200, are now as critical as oil once was. Allowing even limited exports, opponents argued, was like handing a rival the keys to the kingdom. The decision sent shockwaves through the tech industry and allied capitals. Everyone asked, had the US just made a terrible mistake? Advanced AI can guide missiles, run battlefield simulations, and sift through surveillance data in real time. The nation that masters military AI will have a decisive edge. For China hawks, the H200 is a potential weapon, not just a chip. They see a direct line from a Chinese data center to a more capable People's Liberation Army. The fierce civilian chips will inevitably be diverted to military use, a process China has perfected. The H200 export license is a story of immense stakes, playing out in boardrooms, government rooms, and secret labs. It involves billions in corporate revenue and the future of the global tech supply chain. Most importantly, it raises fundamental questions about national security in an age of rapid technological change. The decision has set the stage for a confrontation. It's a test of American policy and resolve. The world is now watching to see how this high-stakes gamble will play out. The stakes could not be higher. The U.S. government's decision marked a sharp pivot from previous, stricter controls. Initially, Nvidia's most powerful chips were banned from China to slow Beijing's AI progress. National security hardliners praised the move, but tech companies like Nvidia pushed back, warning that total bans would hurt U.S. innovation and market share. The new policy allows a slightly less powerful H200 to be exported, advanced for commercial use, but below the military threshold. The administration calls this a small yard, high fence approach. Protect the most critical tech. Allow limited trade. Critics in Congress called it a dangerous concession, arguing China's military-civil fusion means any advanced tech could end up in PLA hands. They see no real distinction between commercial and military use in China. Administration officials counter that a total ban is unsustainable and could backfire, pushing China to accelerate its own chip development. Limited sales keep U.S. companies profitable and maintain some visibility into China's AI ecosystem. The policy is a strategic adjustment, not a retreat. The U.S. can't halt China's progress, but it can try to manage the pace and maintain a relative advantage. It's a delicate balance, supporting business, protecting security, and navigating a globalized tech industry. The stakes: innovation, security, and America's technological lead. The outcome remains uncertain. The Nvidia H200 isn't just another chip, it's a leap in AI computing power. Built on Nvidia's Hopper architecture, it's designed for the massive calculations needed to train advanced AI models. Its high-bandwidth memory enables lightning-fast data processing, making it invaluable for both civilian and military uses. In business, it powers breakthroughs in drug discovery, finance, and autonomous vehicles. Militarily, it can train AI to identify targets, jam communications, or simulate next-gen weapons. The dual-use nature of the H200 is the core of the security dilemma. The export-approved version for China has limits on interconnect speed meant to slow large-scale supercomputing. The idea, a single chip is powerful, but building a supercomputer from thousands is less efficient. Critics doubt this safeguard is enough. Chinese engineers are resourceful, and even a degraded H200 outpaces China's domestic chips. For many AI tasks, the export version is still more than sufficient. The risk: the US may be accelerating China's military AI, even with restrictions. The controversy is far from settled. Beijing publicly denounces US export controls as technological bullying, fueling nationalist sentiment and calls for self-reliance. Behind the scenes, Chinese tech firms scramble to acquire as many H200 chips as possible, knowing their own alternatives lag behind. The modified H200 is a critical stopgap, keeping China's AI ambitions alive. Quietly, Beijing encourages legal acquisition while accelerating a massive, state-funded push for semiconductor independence. Billions are invested in domestic chip design and manufacturing to break free from foreign reliance. The US restrictions have only intensified China's resolve. Internally, China will tightly control and allocate imported H200s, prioritizing state-backed projects. The chips become strategic resources, managed for maximum national benefit. Beijing's strategy: use what it can get now, while racing to build its own supply chain. The chip war is as much about time as technology. Every move is calculated for long-term advantage. The H200 controversy exposes three forces shaping US-China relations: commerce, security, and supply chains. For Nvidia, China is a huge market. Cutting it off means lost revenue and slower innovation. The corporate argument selling modified chips funds the next generation of US tech. National security officials see any export as risky, citing China's military-civil fusion. Today's commercial chip could power tomorrow's weapons. Their solution: a total ban. The third force is the global supply chain. Chips are designed in the US, made in Asia, with parts from around the world. US export controls try to weaponize this interdependence, but risk pushing China to build its own parallel supply chain. Allies worry about being caught in the crossfire. Policymakers are trying to balance business, security, and control, but many experts say these goals are fundamentally at odds. The H200 case shows every decision is a painful trade-off. Can the US arm a competitor and still win the race? The answer remains elusive. The stakes are global. While officials debate policy, a shadow market for banned chips thrives. Smugglers use front companies, transshipment points, and fake documents to get Nvidia chips into China, selling them at huge markups. Enforcement is a nightmare. The Bureau of Industry and Security is understaffed and overwhelmed. Smugglers exploit loopholes, mislabel shipments, and use shell companies to hide end users. Once inside China, chips are untraceable, used anywhere from startups to military labs. Legal cases are hard to build, and post-shipment verification is nearly impossible. Critics argue that if the US can't stop smuggling of fully banned chips, it's unlikely to control the flow or use of export-approved H200s. The black market ensures determined buyers get what they want. Export controls may only slow, not stop, China's access to critical tech. The shadow economy grows as the chip war intensifies. The H200 export debate splits experts into two camps. Proponents of controlled trade argue that limited sales fund US innovation and keep America ahead. They warn that a total ban would push China to self-reliance faster, creating two rival tech ecosystems and cutting off US influence. Strategic engagement, they say, is better than isolation. Technology hawks, mostly in national security circles, see any export as a dangerous risk. They argue China will use any tech for military gain, and the only safe policy is maximum pressure and strict controls. For them, every year China's AI progress is delayed is a win for US security. The core disagreement: risk versus revenue, engagement versus containment. This dilemma is at the heart of US policy. The stakes: America's technological and strategic future. The chip war isn't just about hardware, it's about talent. The US has long attracted top AI minds, including from China, fueling innovation and depriving China of talent. But rising tensions and tighter visa rules are making the US less welcoming. Export controls also make it harder for Chinese engineers to access cutting-edge hardware, pushing some to stay in or return to China, where incentives are growing. The US risks helping China solve its brain drain problem. In China, startups face a hardware crunch, stifling innovation and favoring big, state-backed firms. In the US, startups lose access to the Chinese market and must navigate new geopolitical risks. The freewheeling globalist tech world is giving way to a more cautious, nationalistic era. The global tech community is being reshaped by these forces. The human side of the chip war is just as critical as the technology. The Nvidia H200 saga is a chapter in the defining US-China rivalry of our time. The outcome will shape the global balance of power and the future of technology. The US is betting it can innovate faster than China can catch up, using revenue from controlled sales to fund the next leap. China is betting it can use imported chips as a bridge while building its own industry. Allies and developing nations watch, wary of being forced to choose sides. The era of unfettered tech globalization is over. Strategic competition is the new normal. Every decision in Washington and Beijing ripples worldwide. The future is unwritten. Will US policy slow China's military AI or accelerate it? One thing is certain: the world is watching, and the story of the H200 is just the beginning. The chip war has only just begun.